I'm going to record this at the risk of being redundant, yeah? So, if you see me backing away, right? Yeah. You know what? Hold on. Give me a second. There. Alright, good. Yeah. So, again, just in case we can't see everything. Right? So, there we go. Um, alright. So, let me explain what is happening over here now. Now, make your life simple. When you square 112, right? It's like you're saying you multiply 112 by 112. But remember, 112 is what? 56 times 2 and another 56 times 2. Now, if you have that as your denominator, 56 times 2 times 56 times 2. But then you put 56 above it. What will happen? One of them go, another one go with it. 56 over 56, you have a 1 up there. Now, 56 times 2, 112. 112 plus 112 is 224. Therefore, the denominator is going to be 224. So you're going to have 1 over 224. Now, mind you, it was a minus 56, but here's the trick to this now. Minus times minus is a plus. So forget about that. A plus sign definitely go come right in. Yeah? Trust me. Yeah. Yeah. Alright, so therefore, after we square 112 and then you have it divided into, you get what I mean? Once you divide this 56 by 56, you'll get 1. You divide the square of 112 by the 56, you'll get 224. Yeah? We don't even need to argue about that. So therefore, we have to multiply 43 by 43. I think we did that already. 43 by 43, if I remember correctly, was 1849. Ah? Okay. Yeah. Is it, you know what? Yeah, okay. So anyway, so that means the top will be 1849 and the denominator is 224. So 224, 1849. See? So that means now what we have to do now is multiply 224 by 24 and have that as a numerator over 224. Right? So 224 by 24. Let's see now. 448 plus 448. So we have this. So that will be 896. Right? So we have that. 448 again. So now 7 here. This gonna be okay. That look familiar. So we get 5,376 over 224. Look at that. Yeah. So 5,376 goes over 224. Right? Alright, good. And I think we remember what we got the last time when we did add those two things together. We got 7,225. Right? So therefore, let's not waste any time. Let's just put 7,225 over the 224. We didn't get that before in the quadratic formula, so why not? Why not? Alright, so now that I'm done with that part on the right, let's come over here now. Now here's something interesting about this. All you have to do, square root this, you get x, square root that, you get 43 over 112. Therefore, when you factorize this, factorizing this results in x plus 43 over 112 all squared. Yeah? That's just the simplest way to put it. Now I can make a video separately explaining how this happens. Because if you add 43 over 112 plus itself, you get 86 over 112. Then when you divide 86 by 2, you get this. You divide 112 by 2, you get this. Therefore, it explains that if you expand this, you end up with that up here. Yeah? And of course, we have all of this. So we're almost done. Right? We're almost done with this now. Almost done. Right? Take an equal sign, put it in front of the plus here. That will be a minus now. Get rid of that. Yeah? So yeah, I'm going to make part of this live available as a recording later. So let me just apologize if I'm shifting and adjusting. Yeah. So yeah. So we're done with that part now. Now we're gonna multiply or just divide both of them by minus 56. Right? Multiply this by 1 over minus 56. Yeah? You divide this by minus 56. Yeah? So now 56 times 224. I mean, just to make it very simple, just square the 112. If you square the 112, it must give you that anyway. Right? So anyhow, let me rub out this. Yeah? Rub out that. Minus 56 divided by minus 56, that's going to give you a 1 times that. Leave it with that over here. Yeah? So let me just do this quick. I'll just go blitz it and done. Right? With that. With that. Alright, cool. With that. And then what is this? Ah, yes. That look familiar. That look familiar. Sorry if it couldn't. If I cut off some of it, I apologize. So the number that we get is 12,544. Right? So you multiply this by this. Yeah. 12,544. Now, the thing is, we multiplied it by minus 1 over 56, so therefore this has to become, that has to become positive now. Right? Yeah, part of the stress done now. Part of it done. So once we get here, we're almost out of the woods. Because now, we just go square root the left and the right. The whole point of this is that this and this need to be perfect squares. Yeah? And you square root this, you know that your denominator is going to be 112. 112 times 112 will give you this number, for sure. So you know that your denominator is automatically going to be what this is. So you don't have to guess. Once you get this over here, so this is going to be 112. Without a doubt. And remember, Remember what we did before? 85 times 85 give you this. So therefore, we could not waste time. We could not waste time. This is 85 and this is 112. Right? And that would mean that this sign will now become a plus or minus 85 over 112, which means that what we did was we square rooted this, and if you square root a square, what happened? It cancels, so therefore, get rid of that. There you go. Yeah? Yeah. This is a doozy. This is a doozy. I'm not going to lie to you. Right? Now, we minus 43 over 112 from the left and the right. So, that means we're going to have this. 43. Yeah? So, obviously that happens, right? Just putting it in context. So now, yeah. And I think we're back to where we were in the beginning. Yeah? So again, if you're looking at this, I am going to put the live together as a separate video. Anyway, so we have two outcomes now. 43 from that is what? 42 over 112 as one answer. And then if you add 43 to 85, you get what? 128. So we got the same answers as we got before. Yeah. Yeah. So we can do this. 85 minus that gives you a positive 42 over that. Yeah? And then on this side, now we get what? Make sure it says the right thing I have here. So, minus 85, minus 43. So now we end up with minus 128. So we'll have minus 128 over that. Minus 128 over, there we go. Yeah, so we're pretty much back to square one. Yeah? Yeah, I know. hopefully, yeah, the other version of this video that I make will make up for, you know, my inability to capture the entire screen, right? So yeah, this looks exactly like what we got before with the quadratic formula. So this is, yeah, all we have to do what we did before. 2, 3, 7, triple 2 by 7. Therefore, when we reduce that, we end up with what? 3 over 8, right? So we don't even have to guess. That is 3. And this is 8, right? 14 times 8, 112. 14 times 3, 42. Cool. And then this, 2 to the 4 is 16. So up here is going to be 16, down here is going to be 7. So this is going to be minus 16 over 7, right? Just like what we got before. Yeah. Whew. yeah. I didn't think I was going to get through all of it, but it looks like we did. Right? So yeah, the three ways, right? So we can, well, the only thing that we need to remember is that when it cannot be factorized in terms of the AC method, you have to use this quadratic formula or completing the square, which means that it's not going to be like you have some trinomials that just cannot be factorized because the third term is probably a prime number or some craziness, or it just isn't possible to get the number in the middle. That will happen. Whenever it does, you would use either this or the quadratic formula. But if you can factorize it, you should get the same answer regardless of what method you use. Right? Yeah. Yeah. So I'm glad that people stuck with me on this, and I will try to make the video version of this available for the latter part of it at least, right? So yeah, oh, you see that? I never need that equals 0 over there. I don't need that. So maybe I could just keep it like this and then just focus on that. Why not? So yeah, so we originally had what? 24 minus 43x minus 56x squared. We flipped it around so it looked like this, right? And then after that we did the madness, what we did on the left, and the madness we did on the right, and then finally we end up with all of that. Yeah. So I always say it at the end of my videos, thanks for helping me to stay consistent. As I always tell you, honor your commitments. Again, as I always tell you, honor your commitments. Press that button to talk to me. I'm also over here. Honor your commitments.